Greetings, everyone. My name's Tom Signorello. Welcome to another session with me and Big Al, Tom Schreiter. We're sharing network marketing secrets and ways for people to really promote and to be able to grow their network marketing business by not falling into the valley of death. And speaking of the great Tom Big Al Schreiter, Tom, why don't you go ahead and take it away? Do the training for us today.
Okay, this will be a pretty simple lesson, but an important lesson. A lot of times we give people presentations and we tell them all the facts and features and benefits, and they procrastinate. They don't take action. And you say, well, why is it they don't take action? So here is the short course on brain science. And once you see it, you'll never forget it. So how it works is back in 1848, like before the Civil War, there's a guy named uh, Phineas Gage, and he just worked on a railroad. No big deal. But his job was, they put a hole in and they put some dynamite in it and gunpowder, and then they take a steel rod and pump it down and then they'd ignite it. Well, something went wrong. He put his steel rod down there, these big long 16-foot steel rods, and it exploded. And it went through his eye, went out the top of his head, the steel rod. And he lived. How is that possible? But he lived. So obviously you can only see out of one eye, had a big hole in his head. And he recovered enough, went back to work, but there's something strange about him. The guy couldn't make a decision. So like if he was sitting down like on a table and there's, mashed potatoes, beef, and corn on the plate, he couldn't figure out which one to eat first. And he could never make up his mind. He just couldn't make a decision. And they said, well, obviously what happened is, we don't have MRIs yet. We don't know much about the human brain, but it probably blew out the part of the human brain that makes decisions. And it got worse and worse. And finally they fired him and he ended up doing a couple other odd jobs and, eventually passed away. But the point is, he was the first neuroscience case study where they figured out, there must be a certain section of the brain that is important for making decisions because this guy couldn't make it. Should I wear this shirt or this shirt? Oh, he never could get dressed on time. And so it was just horrible. Later, they found out that about this portion of the brain is where emotions come from. And they could look back and says, the guy was kind of like flatlined emotionally, just pretty mellow. So, all right, it makes sense. So emotions must have something to do with decisions. So let's think about this. If a person has no emotion about something, just keep your life the same. Well, there's no need to make a decision. So when we present facts to people and there's no emotion to it, well, there's no need for them to make a decision. So emotion is the subconscious mind's way of communicating with the conscious mind brain. Subconscious mind doesn't have words, doesn't have a vocabulary, doesn't speak English, Spanish, or anything. It just has. So the emotion and the subconscious mind runs our life is how it communicates to the conscious mind. So kind of a shortcut overview on this is if you want to make a decision, you got to get emotion involved. And they said, well, that's not really true. What about engineers? Well, let me tell you, I know about engineers. So let's imagine you're an engineer for a city and they're going to build a bridge and you get a couple of bids in. And one bid is really, really low. The next one is quite a bit higher. It's a reputable company, quite a bit higher. And the low bid's from a new person. And you say, well, logically, the facts are it's going to save the city a lot of money. But then you think, well, but what if I take that lower bid and they don't finish it? They'll call it the engineer's folly.
Mm.
and I'll be ridiculed. Might even lose my job. If I lose my job, well, then I won't be able to support my family, and my family will leave me, and I'll die alone. And uh, so, even accountants and engineers, when they make decisions based on the facts, there's emotion involved. So, no matter how many facts I dumped on people, it didn't make a difference. And my strategy was, well, I'll dump some more facts on you. I'll find some more features and benefits. And nothing worked. When people have emotions, wow, things happen like right away. And I think I gave an example here a couple sessions ago. I asked people, is it okay if I take your children skydiving with me? Do you think that got an emotion?
Hmm.
And it got a quick decision, didn't it?
Yep.
People said, no, no, no. And they did it even before the facts before the facts existed. And you say, they didn't even know if I'm a certified skydiver, if I'm successful 3 out of 4 times, they're going to be, jumping only 1 inch, and they don't know any of these facts, and they made the decision. So you're thinking, I don't like how that sounds. That the human mind is making decisions on emotion, not facts. But oh, come on, let's get out of our prejudice and say, just think of a young man proposing to a young lady to get married. If you marry me, I'll be the perfect husband, be loyal, caring, come home on time, never go out drinking with the buddies. And she knows it's all a lie, but there's some emotion involved. and, and the emotion is, man, I'm going to have this ring. I'm going to put it in my girlfriend's face, and I'm going to have this wedding coming up. And I love this guy. It overcomes all the stupid facts.
I'm going to have to share this with my daughter because she's getting married 3 weeks from Saturday.
Yeah. And you think about it, marriage is an emotional decision. I mean, not a lot of people say, well, it looks like we'll get a extra 2% tax deduction by combining our incomes. I mean, there might be a couple, but not enough to support a sales business.
Right.
And you say, okay, so do I have to become a great storyteller to get people crying and then mentally blackmail them? And what can I do? And I said, well, here's the easiest solution. The easiest solution is this. You already have a bunch of facts. I mean, you got a ton of them. If you don't, the company can give you more. Yeah, check out the PowerPoint, the company video, the brochures, the research reports. Yeah, we got facts all over. All you need to do in this shortcut is put these 4 words in front of the facts. 4 words. So we're 4 words away from bypassing all this neuroscience knowledge. We can just shortcut it by just saying, how would it feel? So if you have a chance, write down, how would it feel? Put that in front of your facts, ask the question, and let them sell themselves. It will automatically create an emotion. So let's just do a couple examples. Let's say that you had a card business and they sent out cards to people, and which means our cards go out and it's only so many cents and dollars per card, and you can do it in batches here. You can buy a batch of 10 here, and we have a CRM database. And, yeah. But wouldn't it be better to say, how would it feel never to have people duck your phone calls again and be excited when you call? How would it feel if prospects knew your name and kind of was happy that you finally called? How would it feel to never have to do cold prospecting calls again? How would it feel never to have another cold call make you feel all icky inside? How would it feel to turn your entire marketing budget off and just replace it with a $10 a month spend? How would it, and you say, and let them answer the question. Don't go real quick like I did here. And you say, well, that works for cars, but what about for my diet products? Well, how would it feel to look smaller in your daughter's wedding picture that she's going to have on the mantle of her fireplace for the rest of her life?
Here, sign me up.
How would it feel to have everybody in the office talk behind your back and feel jealous because of all the weight you lost? How would it feel never to have to go on another diet again? How would it feel if you could cancel your gym membership and never have to lift another sweaty weight again? Oh, yeah, I could do that. Oh, what about skincare? I said, oh, how would we do that? Well, how would it feel to have your face be your best first impression? How would it feel when people said your younger sister is now your older sister? Mhm. How would it feel knowing that you had to go to bed every night listening to your skin wrinkle? How would it feel? And you say, wow, I don't have to be a big storyteller. I can just take the facts I got and say, how would it feel to have an extra paycheck every Thursday? How would it feel to actually fire the boss one day? How would it feel to double your pension in just 3 years? And when they answer how it would feel, that's a natural emotional prompt. They answer with emotion, and emotion gets action. So if you want people to make really quick decisions, just take all your facts, add how would it feel, and learn to sit back and listen and allow them to sell themselves. If you ever have people procrastinating, that's because, well, I got these facts and I can compare these facts, and I can juggle these facts, but I have no emotional reason to take action now. So the natural state of humans is entropy, which is to sit here where it's safe, because if I do anything outside that, I'm taking a risk. And my survival, my number one program says I should stay here. So I'm going to ask you, how would it feel to shorten your sales presentations and to get instant yes decisions? Or how would it feel to just start using these 4 words everywhere you go and see what happens? And how would it feel to use this like 10 times in a row and the prospect would never even notice? Because the prospect doesn't care. They just get excited about answering the questions.
Right.
And you say, well, how would it feel never to have to deal with procrastination again? How would it feel to get our prospects emotionally involved with our product or our business opportunity? And how would it feel to get a little bit more pro just by using these simple 4 words? So that's a really quick, fast lesson on what we could do like now.
Yeah. Like, how would it feel if you got paid while you were sleeping?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, since I sleep a lot, wow, I'm going to be a millionaire. This sounds pretty good. Tell me more. How do I sign up?
I like it.
So it's just a short thing that we can do that will instantly transform our business. And it's just basic brain science. It's how the mind works. And our job is to work with the mind instead of against it. So all I can say is it's a lot more fun when we know what's going on and we have rules or guidelines that work.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, I remember the last time that we had one of these. I'm getting more and more people signing up for my YouTube and different things to because of the last one we did where we broke it down into just 11 seconds with, well, you know how would it be okay if
Mhm. Most
for
people, yeah.
most people, and then we should talk, and I'll put the link in there. It's tomsignorello.com, goes to my YouTube and everything. And people can see all of these content that we've been doing. We must have half a dozen on them. We've been doing them for a better part of this year so far. And I'm excited about the content that you're putting out there, Tom. How can people learn more? You've got your website, bigalbooks.com. Why don't we ask people to go there and sign up for your free
Yeah.
tips?
I can tell them, there's free tips that come out twice a week. And if they're really adventurous, how would it feel to read a book and learn something this week instead of scrolling social media? I say, oh, I don't know. It's up to them.
Yeah.
But the
Well,
point is, we can get better because I'm living proof of from pathetic to actually making a living.
yeah. And I'll tell you what, I've been following you for a couple of years now and implementing the different things that I've learned. And my business is dramatically different from when it was 2 years ago. And I've been in the field for 16 years. But what do they say? You don't know what you don't know. That old saying, it's like, well, your business is a reflection of your self personal development. And, I know that myself personally and my team is growing exponentially because of you and your content. So I'm truly grateful for doing these with you.
This would be a really good one for the breakfast clubs that you do, for the
Mhm.
networking groups,
Yeah.
because they only have a minute and they could do a couple how would it feels and pretty much cover the minute. And that would sound better than we're a family-based business since 1907. We believe in quality and customer service. You say, yeah, we could use our time better.
Yeah. I
We
think
got
I'll stand up. We're off this week with a short week, but next week I got 2 meetings going on. And I think I'll just do that. How would it feel if you could do this? And how would it feel if you could do that? And
yeah,
and just stand in the back of the room and wait for them to come and bring me their business cards.
yeah. Short things work because most of us have short attention spans and our prospects have an even shorter attention span. So we got to get to the point right away. They love it.
Yeah.
Good.
They
So I'll
love
see
it.
you in a couple weeks. We'll
I
do this
love it.
again.
All right, Tom. Thanks very much for being here. And everyone, we'll see you again on another one of our trainings. All right. Have a great day.